Hey everyone, it's Jen with ChappyPlans. Thanks for joining me for this Try It Tuesday December daily video. Today I'm working on story number 5, which is a story about our advent calendars this year. So if you'd like to see what I'm going to do, stick around. Friends, it's Jen with ChappyPlans. So glad to be back in my December daily album. This is volume 1 of 2 for 2024. I, as you can see, have started playing around and setting up some sort of loose foundation pages and some that are a little bit more structured. This is story 5, which is about our advent calendars this year. And it's on the back of story 4, which is about our trees. So I basically mimicked the same thing that Allie did with this, except I made my front tab into a larger pocket. So I used a transparency to hold photos of our Christmas trees. I have to like journal about them and stuff like that, but they're all in there. I printed them on Epson presentation paper in matte. And then the back is basically decorative for the most part. So there's nothing that's going to go up here. I'm going to, see, I had paper clipped this or used a little tiny clothespin, but essentially this is going to get glued to the base of this transparency to mimic the front shape that I have of this. And then I thought it was perfect because it has 5 spaces, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for day 5 to just journal a little bit about each of our advent calendars. And then I have this 2x2 pocket page that I'm going to use to put embellishments on and things. I'm obsessed with grids this year, so you can expect to see more of that. These are, so obviously I'm doing like red, black, and white on this side. So what I'm thinking, I've kind of selected, not kind of, I have selected some of these tags that are on acetate, and then I've cut some tag shapes out of some of the pattern papers. This is obviously from last year, but I love these Santas. So I've got, you know, I glued some little pom-poms on the hats and added some stickles for some dimension and sparkle. And yeah, I'm thinking in this page, I'm going to make this a shaker pocket. I think I'm going to use my little tiny stamps. There is one that says Advent somewhere up here, right there. So I'm going to use that little stamp set for right here to stamp Advent, which is going to be the title, I think. I mean, it might be too tiny, but that's okay if it is. I might be able to find some other alphas or alpha stickers that'll fit so that that can be the title. I think that's where I want to put the title. I don't know. I might just embellish it. I'll see when I fast forward. But behind some of these are photos of our advent calendars. So this year we did something new, which is our Rad and Happy advent calendar. It's really fun. You purchase, it's a digital download, and you can print it out as many times as you want. There's no specific order. It's just lots of fun activities. So I'll show you a couple things we have done. So we both colored little, what are these? Nutcracker toy soldier things. There was a Spot the Difference. There was a word search. There's lots of fun things in here. We did a, if I can find it, we decorated a Christmas tree. So this was one of our advent calendars. And then another one. And this, I loved using this technique after seeing Shoe Puff Creations take foil and just put the, it's like mink foil from Heidi Swap, and she just used it right on top of double-sided red line tape, and it stuck to it like foil. So I love that technique, and I did that with this pattern paper. And then Nora this year has a Disney Mini Brands advent calendar. She's obsessed with mini brands. I think they're ridiculous, but whatever. So that's gonna go on the back of this one. What else? She has every year we do, and this year we don't buy a new one every year, but we have the last few. This year we did because it's the Disney 100 version, so she had to have it. They sell them at Walmart. They're $10, and there's little teeny tiny books, and they're numbered, and they're stories, holiday stories for lots of your favorite Disney characters. So that's another Advent thing that we are doing. And then, of course, my Advent, which I've already opened, are all of the Advent stickers from Allie Edwards. So I plan to journal about each of those things on the card on the left, and then just basically have fun decorating and embellishing these little tags that I've either cut out of pattern papers or used from the tag kit or add-on. So I'm going to fast forward now and put on some music, or do a voiceover, we'll see, and get started. So let's go. Hey friends, so the first thing I need to do is adhere this 4x6 pocket card and the trees to the back of this acetate sheet. I kind of screwed up and I taped it down before I taped the trees down, which I should have done first since the trees are supposed to be underneath the pocket, but it's fine. It ended up working out, so I pretty much fast forwarded through that part. So you can see now I've got them stuck to the transparency. I added the little gold chipboard star at the top, and then I wanted to create a little border at the bottom, so I used this gold washi from last year's December daily kit, just to add a little something. I don't know if I'll end up adding any later on, but for now I like it. And then I am going to journal about the 4 different Advent calendars, and then the last, for number 5, I'm going to journal about how my husband is not someone who cares to have Advent calendars. He just doesn't, it's not that he doesn't like them, but he's sort of indifferent. And I said that he enjoys, seeing Nora's delight when she opens up her gifts each day. The other thing I'm doing is looking for a couple of star embellishments to add to the other 2 trees, because I just thought it looked like, a little bit plain, so I wanted to bring in a couple more. And then I'm going to do my journaling. Yeah, I said Matt isn't a huge Advent calendar fan. He's indifferent. Instead, he enjoys watching Nora's excitement and joy as she experiences hers. We cherish moments of delight. And I wanted to tie in that same sentiment that's at the top of the card, moments of delight. I'm just looking for something to add to that right side. The top corner there, it's kind of like a blank space for me, and I'm not a big fan of white space. If you know me, then you know that, and obviously that's not white, it's red, but I just don't really care for offset spaces. So I added that present, but you'll see I end up going back and changing that at the very end in real time. Now I'm going to look for sequins to make one of these pockets, these 2x2 pockets, into a shaker pocket. So I've got my fuse tool set up, and I'm going to pull sequins from both of these packs from Diary of Belle Rose. I forget what they are. One of them is really cute. Well, they're both really cute, but one of them's got like letters, envelopes, and pencils, because it's like letters to Santa. And then the other one is nutcrackers. And they have other colors in them, other colored sequins. So I meticulously went through and picked a bunch of those out. So I will spare you the details of me picking through all the sequins and kind of fast forward to where I'm almost done creating my own mix, because I do end up adding in some more gold and some more red from my own stash. And then I also added in some Santas and snowmen to the mix as well, because I wanted it to be red, white, black, and gold. So you can see I'm going to take my bead scooper. I got this on Amazon. And add the sequins to the pocket. I ended up using about a third of what I actually mixed together, which is fine. I may or may not keep the remainder of what's in this little tray here. I bought a bunch of little teeny tiny glass jars that look like little apothecary jars from the Dollar Tree. So if I want to keep little bits and bobs like that, I can. If not, I can just throw it out and it'll be okay. Or at least that's what I tell myself, even though I hate wasting anything. And so I'm going to use my We Are Memory Keepers little mat here and my fuse tool to create this and make it into a shaker pocket. So once that is all secure, sorry about my head, I can move on to embellishing the rest of these little tiny cards. So what I need to do is adhere each of the photos, the teeny tiny photos I printed out, onto the backs of these tags. So that's first step. So I spared you watching me tape them all front to back, and they are all set now. So I'm going to take this top right black tag and spell out Advent using these foam alphas from Citrus Twist Kits. I thought they were like the perfect size, and I like that they're foam. I like that they're white, so they really pop on the tag. So that really kind of stands out against the rest of the page, which is a very busy page because of all the embellishments and the gold and the textures that are going to be in each one of these little pockets. So it's kind of like a balancing game, and I look at it as sort of a puzzle, right? Like it's a grid, a 3x4 grid. And in each pocket, you kind of have to do your own thing, but you also need to balance colors and embellishments. So, I kind of tried to spread out the black tags and the red tags and the cream and sort of that like beige tannish color, and also bring in gold foiling. So I end up wanting to use this flare that says Make a Wish. This came from a kit that Jenny Garcia sent me last year. We did a really fun crafting with friends video episode, I guess, if you will, that Jenny sometimes has on her YouTube. And we created these little like DIY kits and sent each other some goodies for December Daily. And she sent me a ton of goodies because it was my very first year doing it. So in that box of deliciousness was some, or I should say were some flares, not just this one. There are several that I have still in my stash. So then I'm going to use the little stamp set that I had shown you in the beginning from Ali Edwards that has all of the tiny word phrases on them, but I'm not going to use them the way they were intended as tags. I'm just going to use them to spell out on the 4 cards that have photos on the back, Advent Countdown. So there are 2 little words, and they could be used, obviously, like I use them together or separately. But I like to get creative and kind of, it would have been great if there was one that said like calendar, but there wasn't, and so I went with countdown. So Advent Countdown. And then I switched the numbers on on this poor tag like 4 different times. And I finally do settle on the gold number 1, even though it doesn't show up very well on that tag because of where the tree is located. The 1 looks great, the black one. But then the other tag that I moved to that has the next photo of the advent calendar on the back is black. So the black 2 does not look right on the black tag. So I switched to gold. Now I am looking for something to embellish the front of this tag, which is just a plain like khaki colored tag. I don't even really know what, beige, maybe grayish, with this foam star, which came, I think, in the main kit. Yeah, that was from the main kit. And let's see. I realized, oh, I need to punch a little star in the top of this tag. So I have this star punch. And it's not the same size, but it's pretty close. And I'm trying to think of what ribbon to use to embellish the tag so that you know to pull them out. I went with this black twine that I have from American Crafts, but it is shedding all over, and it's driving me nuts. Like, it looks like little tiny hairs everywhere. So I think I'm going to need to switch those out at some point. I'm not doing it right now. But when I do come back and do like flip throughs, any little changes that I've made, I'll let you know. You probably won't even notice, but I'll share it anyway, just in case. So you can see I'm going to go through a whole bunch of different trims that I have. I've got like this Tim Holtz one, and I was going to go with red, and then I was like, what about gold? And then I was like, well, there's really not a lot of black, so let me go with black. And unfortunately, the only black ribbon or twine of any kind I have is from this American Craft set. So I think I might have to go back to the store and look for some black ribbon. So I decide, okay, I don't want this number 1. It's too thick, it's too big. Let me put this thinner, smaller number 1. And I like that even better than the first one. But then, like I said, I end up changing it again anyways. So it doesn't even matter. It's craziness. Okay, so let me just say, I realize that this is for story number 5 and it is not for story number 6, but I totally forgot while I was filming this. I don't know why my brain was thinking this is story number 6. So for whatever reason, it did. And so I attached it to this transparency with red line tape, but fortunately I was able to pull it up. So I didn't even realize this till after I took the photos and everything. So the photos are going to have story 6, but it's fine. It's whatever. I'm not going to retake the pictures. It is what it is. It's just real life and mom brain. So I do end up adding the wood number 5 instead later on. But just so you know that I realize it is incorrect. Oh my goodness. So I'm going to move on to the other tags now and start to figure out how I'm going to embellish those. So I'm going to add the stamp advent countdown and a gold number 2 onto this black tag. I'm using my white VersaChalk or ink, but it doesn't show up that great, but it's okay. I'm going to leave it. You know, I didn't stamp countdown very clearly, and it's very hard to see on camera. In person, it's definitely more white and opaque. So I apologize that you can't really see countdown very well. If I wanted to, I could go ahead and stamp it and emboss it or something like on clear sticker paper and then put it over the top of that tag so that it stands out more, but it's okay. Little tiny details like that are not a big deal for me. And it doesn't matter as much because I have the number 2, so I know that that is the second calendar that I'm talking about on the which coordinates with the journaling on the left side of the page. So you saw there, I switched out that black 2 and put a gold 2. So, or 1, black 1 for a gold 1. And now I'm going to stick with the gold mini puffy numbers, which are so cute and tiny and absolutely adorable. And so on this third advent calendar pocket, I am going to stamp it again, advent countdown, punch my star, add my twine, put the number 3, and call that good. So I cut that part out so you didn't have to watch. Now, I do spend a bunch of time looking through a ton of embellishments to put on the front of this Joy Transparency. And I had a tough time with it. I was really torn about using the Puffy Santa. I get distracted. And I'm like, ooh, what about this present that I had originally put on the Moments of Delight 4x6 card? Oh, it actually looks better on this black tag. And I didn't even realize that was the one that had a misspelling on it. It said, like, instead of Simple Joys, it was SIPMLE, like Sip Mill Joys. So I covered it up with that present, and then I used the Puffy Santa you'll see at the end in its place. Anyhow, I still haven't solved the problem of how to embellish the bottom left Joy Transparency card. So again, I'm going to go back through a whole bunch of my embellishments, and finally I end up going through my wood veneer pieces from last year's kit and settle on this star. I'm going to do the same thing I did on the other 3 advent cards and stamp advent countdown. This time I'll use a gold number 4 to embellish the front for the 4th story of our 4th advent calendar, and I've already done the puffy present on the right. So that is going to conclude this fast forwarded part. Let's skip ahead to real time. So here is the finished story for my December daily, story number 6. As you can see, I had a lot of trouble trying to pick out various little details. That's always where it takes the most time. You know, I always manage, and I do this in project life too, like to come up with, you know, like the gist, the meat, if you will, of the layout. And then I get really, really caught up in the details, and part of that is because I do have OCD, but part of that is just because I really want it to look amazing. So I did my journaling on the left. I do need to add something here still. I'm not exactly sure what that's going to be, because actually, no, I'm not sure. Usually I like to have like repeated elements, which I think I achieved with the tags and the colors. As far as embellishments, I did not repeat those, and that's because I felt like it balanced out. So for example, I have spelled out Advent with these foam stickers, and that's not used anywhere else. I have this flare, Make-A-Wish, and that's not anywhere else. This three-dimensional foam star is not anywhere else on the page. Same with the number I chose, this puffy sticker present, and this wood veneer star. So, and even like, so each of these tags has something different on them. That was intentional. The only thing that should be consistent are the 1, 2, 3, and 4, because each of these have the Advent photos on the backs. So hopefully that makes sense. And then I wanted the number for the story to stand out. For this side, I need an element that I haven't used at all because I don't want it to look too matchy-matchy. So maybe I'm going to put Santa here. I think he would look great. Let me just do that right now and call this story good. Yeah, that looks pretty good to me. I do need to adhere this washi down a little better, so I need to add some other adhesive of some sort. But I love the way this turned out. I love a little shaker pocket, my sort of custom mix pocket, if you will. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you've got any questions about anything that I used, shared, or did. In these videos, I typically don't link products. I will just put a generic link for Ali Edwards' website. The main kit is no longer available, and a lot of the embellishments aren't either, which is why I'm not going to bother linking them, but you can purchase the digital kit if that's something that you want to try. Let me know your thoughts, and if you document Advent, how do you choose to do that, and what does that look like in your album? Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, guys. I really appreciate your time. Please do me a favor, like this video if you did, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss my content, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, friends, and remember that you are enough. Bye.